Welcome, and here is the Flex Betta tank, or Siamese fighting fish tank. And as you can see, these guys are doing really well. Just a little update really. As you can see, the lotus is sprouted, so that's good. I did have some issues with snails again, but we are dealing with that. Oh, and there's a little fish in there which looks like a guppy maybe. Anyway, as you can see, there's one at the back of there that's starting to sprout. There's one at these are tiger lotus plants, and they're doing really well. I'm trying different foods on these guys at the moment. They seem very excited to see you. I've used the flake stuff, which is this stuff. Not very good in my opinion. It really messes up your tank. If you think about what it actually does, it kind of makes sense. It is ash and stuff like that in flake, but these guys are doing really well. And as you can see, the dividers looks good, the gravel looks good. I give it a clean the other day. That stuff there is actually peat. That's what I feed them. They don't use the coconuts too much, but the plants has got lots of new foliage on them. As you can see, they're trying to seed at the top there, which is good. I will be doing another update later. I've got to get a new camera. My camera failed, so I need to redo it. Now I took a cutting of this one just to see how this through valve stratum works. I'm using a new Evolution Aqua liquid fertilizer for these plants as well. But anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick update. I wanted to do a couple of minutes on how things are. As you can see, the water's perfect. That filter is fantastic because it's got like a directional flow on it. I've actually pointed it towards the heater, so there's no dead spots in the tank either, because it's a very mild current. As you can see, these guys don't really get bothered by it at all. Well worth it. If anyone wants a link to that, let me know. Right, let's have a look at the other tanks. Right, so the new fish in the den, we have got danios. They will fit perfectly with the, I think they're called hillstream loaches or butterfly loaches. Not that we see them that often. There is one on the back I can see at the moment. They will fit perfectly with them because their temperature range goes quite low, the same as hillstream loaches. I will be doing a little update on the filtration of this because I'm still not happy with it. Having said that, I think that if you look at other fish that can go with that, the Danio range is probably an obvious choice. These guys are looking very good. They're very happy. Nice little red fins on them. They tend to sort of sit at the mid of the tank, mid to higher ranges, and they do swim together. They enjoy their their own company and that, so that's quite good. They've got small mouths, so if you're looking at their food, what you want to do is go for something small. I tend to use frozen in most of mine, or I'll make up my own stuff using spirulina and stuff like that, or cucumber. What I would suggest with these is maybe get a little bit of flake and just squeeze it between your fingers. Just give it a little that. So that's the other. Oh, the other thing on with this tank is I've put some of the bonsai lotus plants in there. There's only two. I want to keep the others just in case. And there is a little red shrimp on that wood, so that's quite cool. But yeah, these were some of the fish that again, Maidenhead Aquatics, I basically went in there and I said to them, what have you got for this, what have you got for that, and what do you want to get rid of. That's basically what I did, just to get an idea of how they're going, because don't forget, a lot of these people now are getting fish very few and far between, which is a shame, because what's happening is basically they can't get them from abroad. We should have our own people to breed in this hobby now. You know, we've had it for such a long time. Most of these should be tank bred, and then maybe we can do something about the conservation of these fish. But there you go, there's your Danio. Very nice looking fish, relatively cheap. I think I got 6 for about £15. And obviously, you know, in a tank this size, I would have ideally done 3s and 3s, purely so the filter could catch up. But there you go. So that's that one for you. And what else do we have? We have in here Gouramis! Yeah, there's 3 gouramis in there. The guy wasn't actually sure and wouldn't want to quote what they are. They apparently get up to 3 inches, which I don't know, but they're hiding at the back at the moment. I don't know if you can see them. And we've got some Otto, we've got an Otto in there as well. But look, there you go. There he is, he's doing really well. Now, these guys, they should fit in pretty well with this. They won't take any nonsense from the dwarf cichlids. The parameters are on the edge. You know, ideally you want a 6.8 on them, on the dwarf cichlids. For me anyway, this is the way I look at it. This guy here needs that. But the rams left him alone as well, which you know. So yeah, they're doing quite well. There's 3 of them in there. Which is strange because that's all he had left. He said, look, I need to get these to get some new stock in. So I thought, well, what sort of deal are you going to do for them? Got them really, really cheap. In fact, what I've done is I swapped some stuff out to get those in the tank. And I put another little bonsai in there as well. So let's go and have a look at the other tank, see what we've got in there. We've left the hybrid tank because it's a breeder tank. We've left that alone for the time being. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to see the cories that I put into the other tank. But we'll have a look at that one. You take care. And the golden gourami. We've got those in the Roma. There's 3 of them in there somewhere. Do like a nice pH of around 6.8, 7.2. That's what I was told in Maiden Aquatics. They said that they will go in there nicely. Oh yeah, here's a fella. They will match up. They won't bully anything. They should go in with these guys quite well. Purely because they're not small enough for them to take the mickey out of them. So that's a good thing. And we will be doing some more updates. I'll put a little bonsai in there that's now being eaten alive by snails by the look of it. There he goes, look there. No, they don't like it, there's all 3 of them. There they are. So that's looking good. I wanted something with a bit more vibrance and colour to go in the tank. And they will match up quite well with what we've got in there. They will get a little bit larger, but not too large. I do believe we're going to get a matching pair out of these. He did the guy had a deal on 3, so I thought that would be a way forward. Good looking fish, look at that. Showing out to the camera as well. Alright guys, that's the update for today. Thanks for watching. Well, there you go. There's a little cory right at the back there. It's not going to focus on it no matter what I do. But there's one definitely down there. There's actually 3 in there. I think a lot of the time that they do have, there's one under there as well in the rock. I took a rock out purely because they need a bit of feeding ground, so I will be feeding them. I may even try and put a little bit of food in there, see what we come up with. See, hopefully they will come out and have a little play about in there. I haven't planted anything in this because I'm going to try something new with the lotus lilies, or the bonsais I should say. These guys here love a sandy bottom, but they were all at the back of the tank. They were being bullied, so I kind of took them off there. I don't blame Maidenhead Aquatics for that. They did have an issue with their tanks, so I did take these off the hands. They are very cool. They will be very peaceful, and in this tank they will do whatever needed to get rid of the old food. They're probably going to have a little mosey about later on. If I get any better footage, I will upload it at the time for you. I'm going to stick some little tabs in there in a minute just to see if we can coax them out. Very good, and it's a quality fish. I think cories are great if you've got a sandy or very light bottom. They do get in amongst the rocks, and as you can see, the quality of the sand is actually very poor at the moment, which is strange. I'm really not keen on sand, but I wanted to try something different for you guys, so here we go. Right, let's see if I can get some food in there. I've got some sinky stuff, and see what happens. Well, that didn't make any difference, which is a shame. it's, you know, when you see something like this, people say, are they worth it, blah blah blah. It depends what you want out of a fish. You know, I know that they will get a little bit easier to deal with as we go on, and you get all different types of cories. Ideally you want to keep them in groups, and you want to keep sort of a mediocre pH and temperature. I always say about 25 is good, but you know, there's people who will have different successes with different variables, but they'll do well in there, and hopefully I can get some better footage later on and we can go ahead with updating some other stuff on the tank. I want to see how these bonsais go as well. You take care guys, be safe. Oh, look at that, he's loving that.